That's when you will understand the reality on the ground. You get to a standard case, miss. Apart from something hovering around you, is the drug fake? Apart from that one, that's because that one is psychological. Apart from that one, when they will mention the amount of the money for the drug and how long you are supposed to take that drug, you will just give up. Except you have a strong psyche and you have made up your mind that you are going to survive against all odds. Because the first battlefield is psychology.
Yes.
The moment you sink psychologically, you are gone. What's happening to majority of Nigeria? Check the rate at which people are dying. You just hear that this person fell sick, the next thing. And the way it is becoming so normal, the people just tell you, "Che, sorry, oh," and people move on. They don't give a damn. Because to them, that look at when the terrorists struck at Benue, like the Catholic community, they were at the front burner. They were doing exotic burial first. They would do motorcade, put the caskets, and then they will go and bury. It moved from that stage. I'm a lawyer. I can tell you, there used to be a time that the court system used to have a glory, what we call aura. That glory is gone. Ask those who are involved, the player, they will tell you that glory is gone. In Port Harcourt here, if they ask you to cross the court to Moscow Road, you would rather use the post office and central bank rather than use the court, because there used to be a glory. All that is gone. And the question is, what is the way forward? Which is the solution to this? We don't rocket science as the solution to it. Who plunge to it? Tackle insecurity and the economic front. These two things. Allow our military men, they have what it takes. It is the commander-in-chief's instruction that is the last on the table. If the body language of the commander-in-chief says, "Don't touch the terrorists," and that's what is playing out, they cannot. If the commander-in-chief had the interest of Nigerians and say, "NNPCL, we had a date with Nigerians that before we remove subsidy, all the refineries must be functional and producing. So I give you 1 month, make this refinery functional," right? And they will make it functional. It doesn't require rocket science. Okay, the ones that are there are bad. Build new modular refineries. They can build modular refineries in all the states, and they'll be functional. They will have enough crude oil in this country. See, let me tell you, those who are enjoying, benefiting from this unjust system, they should wait. Like I told you, what is going on? There are people who are benefiting from this evil. Like those who gather around IBB. There are people who benefited from this in Lagos, who are supporting the touts, the Agberos, and the rest of them. You can see them going from time to time. The same thing, that's what this government is doing. That is what is sought to be done in Rivers State. If you see people come out to talk, listen to them, hear beyond them, you will notice that this is the kind of cabal that they want to build. Then turn the commonwealth of the people, from the people, into the hands of few criminal minds. Thank you so much. In preparation for coming election. But that election may not come.
Thank you so much.
Unless Nigerians are not tired of this.
Thank you on that, Barrister Mikey. Thank you so much for your analysis on most of the stories. I really appreciate that. Moving forward, former Senator for Kaduna Central, Shehu Sani, has criticized the National Population Commission, NPC, for requesting nearly ₦1 trillion to conduct a national census, describing it as total. I might not use the word.
Use it.
The NPC has proposed a budget of ₦142 billion for this year's housing and population census. However, reports indicate that President Bola Tinubu rejected the request, instead considering the deployment of National Youth Service Corps members for the exercise. Reacting to the development, Shehu Sani praised Tinubu's decision, stating on X, National Population Commission request for almost ₦1 trillion just to count the number of Nigerians is a total not unnecessary situation. The rejection of their budget is commendable. It will be recalled that President Bola Tinubu has toned down a ₦942 billion proposal by the National Population Commission for the conduct of the National Housing and Population Census. The President suggested the deployment of members of the National Youth Service Corps for the exercise. We've had this conversation on Sunday. Well, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Barrister Mikey, please. What do you have to say?
What you are avoiding, I will tell Nigerians. Senator Shehu Sani said it is madness for them to make such requests. And I agree with him. And I ask myself, are you going to count corpses or Nigerians? Even the president, I am moving it to the table of the president. What is the purpose of counting Nigerians? Do you want to count the integrated foreign terrorists? Or what? Because, let me be very honest with you. I have a firm belief that there are two things that brought the president, that imposed the president on us. Alliance with terrorists and alliance with imperialists. Because all the policy of the government are targeted towards, do you know the federal government is implementing IMF policy? That is imperialism. Yeah. To plunder and crush Nigerians. That one is aside. For a government to accept and rehabilitate foreign terrorists from Futajaron, in line with Bella Mohammed's position that God gave, that Allah gave Nigerians to be the headquarters of terrorists in Africa, and he's walking about, that government is so serious. Anybody who want me to take that government to be a responsible government, I will challenge that person at anywhere. And now that the court has been used for that, I will speak against it. Let me say this to you. Nigerians need common food to eat. They don't have the food to eat because terrorists are killing our farmers. They are killing our farmers, particularly rice. There was a particular pathetic story that when they were killing the farmers, they told them that they gave information about them to the government. So it is their members.
Aside killing them, now they generated all direct to, you know, taxing them to pay for selling them out to the government, just like you stated. So they literally pay them in order to save their lives. So they pay most of these terrorists. They are dues. Imagine that kind of situation.
You may be laughing, but it's a serious matter. In fact, what you are saying is an understatement. Let me give you another dimension to it. Because the Nigerians have lost faith in the security agents. If I run into trouble now and I find an alternative means of survival, I will not call the Nigerian security agents. Ordinarily. Now, what is going on in most of these areas is that these people are going into a kind of agreement with the bandits. If they allow them to go to the farm, at the end of the day, they will share the farm produce. They will give part within the territory of Nigeria.
Okay, now the question would be, since the president has said, has proposed the use of youth corpus instead of following the budget in order to cut costs. When we had the conversation on the Sassoon coming out to cry out over 70,000 naira minimum wage, I talked about the 77,000 naira that youth corpus are yet to get. From 33 to 70, the government has actually come to say it, but they are yet to implement it up till now. What's the guarantee that most of this corpus after work will actually, you know, get at least a stipend? You know, most of them have been sent or deployed to states, communities where there's less security, there's insecurity, there's no good shelter them, you know, in that instance. And then let's look at the other part. Why has Nigeria not gotten to a point where we have to use technology in order to conduct the census? Why 942 billion naira, almost a trillion naira, like Sani Shehu stated? What's the necessity of this? We're sure that most people that live in riverine areas might not actually, you know, get involved in this situation. What is the benefit of the census with this amount of money?
You know, it's like asking, why are we not voting electronically? It's because the criminals within the system are benefiting from it. And they do not understand how these things work. Let me give you a tip. You see what's going to happen? The youth corpus are going to be paid falsified figures, and they will do it. They will use this as an opportunity to cover for what they ought to get. Now, when I talk about the mind shifting from significance to survival, part of it is that it does not trust the system. And any opportunity to exploit the system, it will go in for it. That's exactly what's playing out. And so the coppers will even bribe their way to be among those that they are going to use. And they will go to certain areas, the political class will go there, because they know that if they use electronic means, it will do a fantastic job. Because nobody have a common fingertip. No two person have the same fingertip. Why are we not voting electronically? Like I said, it's because there are criminals within the culture from it. The crisis in Rivers State is being tolerated because there are criminal minds who are supporting SEM. It's very unfortunate what's going on. And the most painful aspect of it is that the protagonists of this thing, majority of them, they are lawyers. Go to the Senate, go to the National Assembly and see what is going on there. The person at the center is a lawyer. We saw what happened in Rivers State here when we got a report of somebody slapping another. A man who allowed what is between his legs to control his direction in life. And that is a person that is a number 4 person in the country. So what do you expect? The coppers are just going there. Anybody who bring in some money and give them, they will share the money. And then any figure they ask them to put, they will put. You know what the beavers did? Beavers, as you go and you are accredited, it frustrated those manipulated figures, because at the end of the day, you will have the total number of people who were accredited. And anything above that accredited number is fraud. So our majority criminal-minded, self-imposed political opportunists don't want anything of that nature, but yet they are carrying cars for ATM. And I told Nigerians, until we are ready and we say electronic voting or nothing, in fact, the constitution should even carry provision that anybody who wants to frustrate the system should be resisted. It should go to that extent, so that Nigerians will take the law into their hands to ensure that they secure their future. Until such reform is done, nobody should dream about issue of election. The question is our population necessary for any county? It's not necessary. I insist it's not necessary. That's a misplaced priority. What the government is just doing, look at the government that is importing rice. I told you here some time ago. A government that is ready to bribe lawyers, giving them whatever satanic spell they pass it through. I will not take that bag of rice for 40,000 and submit my name number to the government under the guise of federal government subsidized rice. To hell with them. While your farmers are being killed, you are giving way to foreign terrorists to come and kill your farmers. Then you are replacing them with foreign terrorists. That's the people you want to count. We joke too much here. And Nigerians, we are not yet ready. The day we are ready for our reparation will come. Because I give you a classic story. It is not as if God was not there. God has always been there. But the children of Israel were suffering in Egypt. It got to a point that they became dissatisfied with the status quo. We have not gotten there yet in this country. The moment Nigerians got to the point of dissatisfaction with the state of status quo or the state of affairs, and we rise up, we will wake up and government will realize that power belongs to the people. They will halt the government, federal government, to a halt. Those who are supporting this government, they are in minority. I am saying that to you. Nigeria can chase out the foreign terrorists by themselves because they know them. All the Nigerians are afraid of is that they will unleash the security agents after you. We had a situation where the people now arm themselves, and they will send security agents to disarm the people and send them for prosecution. You know what happened recently in the Supreme Court? There is an extant government in this country against open grazing. Somebody came to attack a farmer to bring his animal to feed on somebody. Do you know that is a lifeline of a farmer? What he planted. And he will watch a Fulani farmer, a foreigner, so to say, walk into his farm using his knife or sickle to cut down what is it, maize or whatever. So they have a jackknife. In Rivers State here is happening. They use the jackknife to cut the cassava and then use it to pull the tubers out and give it to their cows to eat. And the owner of this farm will watch helplessly. They cannot do anything. You go to a security agent, They tell you that there's something you can do, you should do. That they are under authority, that they cannot do anything. Is that a country? There's no patriotism. So if they are talking about using coppers, the coppers, they are tightening their belt to wait for an opportunity. Anybody who bring the highest amount of money, they will falsify it. We don't need any census.
Thank you so much.
There are serious issues. When there's nothing in the family, you don't discuss the issue of rainbow. We are joking in this country.
Thank you so much, and that Barrister Mankey. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your presence here at the studio. It's always been an amazing time having you here. Well, thank you so much, viewers, for joining us still. This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. We are still open for adverts, placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials on Facebook and YouTube, on Atlantic Television Network on Instagram and TikTok, on Atlantic TV Network, on Twitter, on Atlantic TV Net. You can watch us live on our website at www.atlantic.
Anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 Theme: Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Iradia, erudite scholar and broadcast guru. Chairman, Professor Umar Kat, President, Society of Broadcasters.